I mean, has there ever been a game when he's been so quiet? He's had nothing to offer, really. He wasn't given a chance to get on the ball in good areas. He didn't have the support. So it's great if that game plan comes to fruition, if you work your way to penalties and you end up winning it. But if you don't, it looks like a forlorn effort, lacking ambition.
Scaloni has done so much right, but today the game plan didn't work for him. De La Fuente has done so much right, and again it has. This man who triumphed with Spain's under-19s, triumphed with Spain's under-21s, took the Olympic team to silver medals, has now stepped up, and having won a Nations League and having won a European Championship in Berlin a year ago, has now produced the big one.
He's had his moments, more than enough moments, not least in Qatar 4 years back.
Just one goal for him at this competition, but he has been the face of Spain, and his contentment is writ large. And so is his. He's won in New York. The defending champion of the US Open, who'll be back in August, September, hopefully to win again for Spain.
But when you think how well they played against France as well, Peter, in that semi-final, they took the French apart. They were absolutely superb. This was a much different contest and challenge, but they eventually found the answer. He tried to stop them with some more than decent stops, but it wasn't to be.
And Spain, Alan, have conceded one goal in the entire tournament. That is the fewest ever by a World Cup winning team.
Yeah, to say it was built on defensive resilience, solidity, would be maybe understating it, but they certainly had the weapons in the final third to win enough matches.
Estamos con el hombre del partido, con el hombre más querido de toda España, un hombre que acaba de entrar en la historia del fútbol español. Ferran Torres, has marcado el gol que le ha dado España su segundo mundial. Enhorabuena.
Muchas gracias. Bueno, yo creo que al final el gol ha sido de 47 millones de personas, no ha sido mío ni de los 26 jugadores que formamos aquí. Yo creo que hoy el destino estaba escrito, estaba hecho para que ganásemos, lejos de nuestra gente, pero los hemos intentado hacer sentir lo más cerca posible.
Desde luego el partido ha ido cuesta abajo a favor del gol, que no llegaba 20 ocasiones de España por una tan solo de Argentina. ¿Cómo lo vivís desde dentro cuando ves que se atasca, que no termina de entrar y que lo está rozando?
Bueno, al final, si todas las finales son difíciles, pues cuando tienes a Messi en el equipo contrario siempre entra ese nerviosismo, pero al final nosotros siempre hemos dependido de nosotros, de plantear nuestro fútbol, y creo que hoy lo hemos demostrado una vez más.
Esa misma idea te la extrapolo a ti. Mira que habías buscado el gol, te habían anulado uno, hoy te han anulado otro, lo habías rozado. ¿Qué se siente? ¿Qué liberación se siente al marcar ese gol tan importante?
Bueno, al final una liberación muy grande. Creo que he sido una persona muy criticada a lo largo del Mundial, pero yo creo que como he dicho antes, el destino está escrito. Gracias a Dios siempre me da esas fuerzas para seguir, y al final, como digo, Dios le da las cosas a quien más se lo merece.
Teníamos el gol de Iniesta, ahora tenemos también el gol de Ferran. Vas a ser querido para siempre, Ferran. Enhorabuena, a disfrutarlo.
Muchas gracias.
And for non-Spanish speakers, that all translates as wow.
Estamos con un seleccionador campeón del mundo, Luis de la Fuente. Me decía, la que hemos liado. ¿Qué se siente al ganar un mundial, Luis, después de tanto esfuerzo, de tanto insistir en la misma idea y que esa idea funcione y dé sus frutos?
Especialmente mucho orgullo por esta generación de futbolistas que han ido creciendo con esta idea, fieles a la idea, haciéndola mejor, dándonos un ejemplo de grupo, de equipo, de familia, de buenos grandes futbolistas con un potencial y un talento excepcional, y especialmente orgullo porque de verdad haberles acompañado en este recorrido, este trayecto, para mí es un honor.
Le veo tan entero, tan cabal siempre. A mí se me están saltando las lágrimas de la emoción. No sé cómo está usted por dentro.
No quiero te cuento, no, porque te voy a dar pena. No, pues ahora sí estoy muy emocionado. Después de haber echado la vista atrás, pensando en ellos, hemos hablado mucho con los jugadores. Mister, me decían, hemos ganado todo. Y eso es maravilloso. Con una generación de futbolistas, vuelvo a decir una y otra vez, que son un ejemplo para el deporte español, para la juventud española, para España. Juntos somos más fuertes, eso que no le quepa duda a nadie.
El partido, en lo futbolístico, más o menos como se esperaba, pero quizás más todavía. España, 20 ataques por tan solo uno de Argentina. Han vuelto a minimizar a todo un campeón del mundo hasta hoy, con Messi en el césped.
Sí, creo que el partido se tenía que haber decantado bastante antes. Las grandes intervenciones de Dibu han impedido que el partido se ganara antes, nos pusiéramos por delante en el marcador con más solvencia, pero esto es una final de un campeonato del mundo y incluso con 10 al final tienes que sufrir, pero como nos gusta sufrir, pues ahí hemos estado demostrando otra vez que estamos preparados para todo.
Sufriendo sabe mejor, mister. Enhorabuena, gracias por hacernos tan felices y a disfrutarlo.
Muy amable, gracias.
There it is, this giant, capacious stadium off the New Jersey Turnpike, which has now witnessed 8 games at this World Cup. It was launched by a goal from Ismail Saibari from Morocco against Brazil 37 days ago. And its lasting memory will be of Ferran Torres for Spain against Argentina today. The 308th goal of the World Cup. And Spain were never behind from their first game until their very last. Here are some of the stats of today's game, and it's not an exaggeration to say that they are the most startling statistics, I think, that we've looked at together through the entirety of the competition.
Yeah, they only got those 2 attempts at goal towards the end when they were throwing everything at it, Argentina. It's quite stunning, really, to look at those figures. Who would have thought it?
Maximise this one. Come on.
Well, Argentina weren't very often that close to Spain's final third. They did breach it on a few occasions, but well, you spoke of Cucurella at half-time, Alan, and he only increased his numbers from either flank and through the middle. It was all Spain.
It was all Spain. Nico Williams, when he came on, obviously had an effect down the left-hand side, created the goal. It was all Spain, and yeah, difficult to fathom that one.
For those Argentinian players, so many of whom were involved in Qatar in December of 2022. What a contrast in sentiment and emotion.
I wonder if those Spain lads were actually surprised by Argentina's tactics, their negative attitude. They couldn't have expected what we saw unfold.
Well, they're all in it together. Many of those will be extremely tired, but all of them will be extremely joyous. For Argentines, they almost dare not open their eyes in case it turns out to be true. It is true. And that picture has circulated the world this week of Lamar in Messi's arms. Now, in a sense, it is reversed. The younger nursing the great elder.
Question for Messi, of course, is this the last time we will see him in a World Cup? Asking an awful lot to make the next one in 4 years at the age of 39.
Yes, as we look at these pictures, time to reflect on the World Cup as a whole, which began at the Azteca with Julian Quinones scoring the opening goal for Mexico against South Africa. Remember Scotland's benign invasion of Boston. The USA's extraordinary launch against Paraguay in Los Angeles. Remember being with you, Alan, watching when Comenencia scored for Curaçao against Germany. These joyous moments that people will never forget. Eloy Room's record-breaking 15 saves for Curaçao against Ecuador. Gonzalo Plata's winner for Ecuador here against Germany. Vojinha's man-of-the-match performance in goal for Cabo Verde against Spain. And the early blasts of Mbappe and Haaland, the Norwegian rowers in Times Square. Those fabulous Canadian home games. Messi's hat-trick against Algeria. Eustachio's goal in stoppage time to give Canada their first ever knockout win. Martinelli's 95th minute winner against Japan for Brazil. Tielemans' winner, 125 minutes for Belgium against Senegal. Ronaldo finally scoring in the knockout stages. Argentina 3-2 against Cape Verde. Who'll ever forget that Sidney Lopez Cabral goal for Cabo Verde in that ridiculous game. Haaland's goals to knock out Brazil. The exhilarating Mexico-England game which went all the way. Marino's late goals for Spain against Portugal and Belgium. Enzo Fernandez 90+2 against Egypt. Bellingham 93 for England against Norway. And then the second semi-final. England won Argentina from behind with 5 minutes to play, 2. But in the end, Argentina couldn't leap over the final hurdle. Well, these Argentina players, of course, really just want to peel themselves off the pitch here and get in and hide away from it all. But this is a hugely spirited country. The support is ongoing. The backing has been magnificent. Presentation ceremony is now, I gather, imminent.
New York, New Jersey. It's time for the FIFA World Cup 2026 Final Awards Ceremony.
The moments of which every aspirant footballer dreams. Sergio Ramos, in his day, felt this moment.
2010 FIFA World Cup winner with Spain, Sergio Ramos, and the FIFA World Cup trophy.
And he brings with him the trophy, which it is all about. He is one of their forefathers, he is one of their legends and always will be. He had his moment, he had his turn, and now he is thrilled to afford such moments to his young compatriots. And the trophy will be presented by Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA since 2016, overseeing his third World Cup final. And President Donald Trump, who turned 80 over the first weekend of this World Cup, the 45th and the 47th President of the USA. This has certainly been a very close alliance around the 23rd FIFA World Cup.
FIFA will now present the commemorative medals to the match officials for today's FIFA World Cup 2026 final.
First up, the match officials, led by the Slovenian referee Slavko Vincic. And of them, it is delightful to be able to report that they were not central figures. It wasn't necessarily an easy game to officiate, but they have overseen that smoothly, Alan.
No, you're right in saying that it wasn't an easy game at times. It got niggly, bit of simulation. There was some aggression down there, but he's an experienced ref, and him and his officials did really well.
And indeed, much of the refereeing over the course of the whole event has drawn compliments. A very, very proud day for a 46-year-old from Maribor who has reached the peak of his chosen profession.
The FIFA Young Player Award, presented by Aramco.
Well, there is the FIFA Young Player of the tournament, Pau Kubasi, one of two teens in De La Fuente's side, and you wouldn't have bet on it being him who came away with the prize. This is beyond his wildest fantasy, and you get the sense that it is only just sinking in. This award was given first retrospectively to Pele in 1958. It's gone to Franz Beckenbauer, it's gone to Michael Owen, it's gone to Kylian Mbappe. Last year it went to Enzo Fernandez, or last time. But now, in the breakthrough month of his life, it's gone to 19-year-old Pau Kubasi.
Well, he was part of a fantastic back four, wasn't he? Next to the more experienced Laporte. They hardly gave the opposition a sniff, just the one goal conceded. Amazing stuff, and what a moment for the teenager.
Pinch him, he's dreaming. It's really happened. And so much lies ahead of him. So much lies ahead of him. He's only just begun.
The winner of the Adidas Golden Glove is Unai Simon from Spain.
How could the Golden Glove go to anyone but the goalkeeper who conceded just once in the entire competition. Unai Simon. This award was first handed over actually at USA 94 to Belgium's Michel Prudhomme. Since then, Barthez, Kahn, Buffon, Casillas, Neuer, Courtois, Emi Martinez, and now Simon.
Well, he didn't have to get his gloves warm today, did he? He was a bystander in this match. He was a lot busier. But Unai Simon, I think he would have expected to have had a bit more to do than he did, but I don't suppose he minded one bit.
Another look that says, really, me? One goal conceded.
The winner of the Adidas Golden Ball and the player of the tournament is Rodri from Spain.
And the player of the tournament is the Spanish captain, simply regal in his position. A leader in his comportment, a leader in his style of play. Last time Messi, this time Rodri. Modric has won it, Zidane has won it, Ronaldo and Romario, Schillaci and Maradona. This time, Rodri of Spain.
Back to his very best. Fans of Manchester City will be delighted. Certainly Spain supporters are ecstatic about the part he played, and I'm sure he's delighted after that ACL injury. Even he must have wondered where his career was going, but he's back to the top.
The three happiest Spaniards on the planet.
Football fans, please show your appreciation for the FIFA World Cup 2026 runners-up, Argentina.
Not this time. For Messi, for Argentina, this time it wasn't to be. This time, even the greatest conjurer in the history of the game couldn't quite cast his spell. Messi's magic will endure forever, but 4 years after captivating Qatar and hoisting the trophy high, the simply beautiful, unmatched Lionel Messi must settle for second prize. And so must all of those who wear the stripes of La Albiceleste. 7 World Cup finals, 3 wins, and now 4 defeats.
Yeah, I think for Leo Messi, you saw it on his face, the manner of the defeat would have hurt as much as anything. They're never really in with a shot, which must disappoint hugely.
These are not the medals they woke up this morning to collect. Now Lautaro Martinez going through the shot. Didn't get a chance this time, having impacted so tellingly from the bench in the last couple of games. There's almost nothing more painful than nearly but not quite. Tears. From the greatest, tears. Four years ago, it was perfect. Perfection is hard to repeat. For Scaloni, a weak smile. For Lionel Messi, a quivering lip. Oh, how he wanted to deliver for them again. be that at the age of 43 he'll be back next time? Dare to dream. If anybody has enabled the world to dream, it's Lionel Messi.
Well, perhaps he sees the dying of the light. It comes to us all in football. But what a player, the best ever.
Your winners of FIFA World Cup 2026 and the champions of the world for a second time, Spain!
And so, it is Spain's time. 2 summers ago, they danced in Berlin, crowned champions of Europe again. And now, once more, Spain are elevated from continental to global glory. They are coming up by number. David Raya, Mark Poubel, those who have been this time on the fringe. Players for whom their only precedent was the hallowed class of 2010. So these men walk now in the footsteps of Puyol and Piqué, of Busquets and Alonso, of Xavi and Iniesta. And there is the man who won it. He is famed now. His name is golden forever and a day. Dani Olmo was a delight. Scheming and certain and poised where intent. And Jeremy Pino, next up Pedro Porro, who was the most thrilling of thrusting fullbacks. And none of them can resist a little kiss. I'm Eric Laporte, French-born, but Spanish to the core now. Alex Biner, breakthrough month for him as well. The world knows who he is. Nico Williams came off the bench frequently to tease and torment. And here's the young man who, in so many ways, bore the weight of expectation for Spain and bore it, Alan, with such class.
He certainly did. Talk about his talent, his ability, but his character as well. On the big stage, his bravery, his courage to take the ball, to try things. Magnificent young player.
Kubasi arrived as a boy and leaves as a stellar man. And there's the goalkeeper that almost nobody could beat. Cucurella, a royal at Real Madrid when the new domestic season starts. And after Victor Munoz, it just leaves the captain, who will follow up the coach, De La Fuente. De La Fuente, who has gone where only Vicente Del Bosque led before. What a poised, distinguished individual. What a coach, what a teacher of young men. Well, until now, the ultimate thrill for Spain, the extraordinary privilege has fallen only to Iker Casillas, that heady night in Johannesburg 16 years ago. And now Rodri steps forward to live that same dream. The embodiment of Spain's certainty, their poise, their class. Rodri will reach for the gleaming trophy. La Roja reach for a second star. And it will be brought to them. The president of the game, the president of the USA.
The winners of FIFA World Cup 2026, Spain!
In 2026, the champions of the world are Spain! Viva España! The best team has won it. And the best player the world has ever known leaves in tears. This time the party belongs to someone else. This is a Spanish summer night. He bows his head and departs. And Alan, you really can't deny Spain's right to it.
No.
Over the course of today's game and over the course of the last month plus.
I think for large parts of the tournament we looked at France and said, yeah, they're the best team, they're the team to beat. But when Spain took France apart in that semi-final, they really laid down the marker, making a huge statement that, yes, we are the best team in this tournament. They weren't really tested out there today, were they? It was one-way traffic, but there's no denying them this trophy. Magnificent achievement.
It has happened to Spain only once before. Now they own 2 stars. And their father figure has his hands on it.